I remember a while back had made a comment saying that you have a lot of power when you can cause people to get into an uproar and force themselves to drop everything they're doing against their own interests just because of one or a couple people. In this case, those couple of people would happen to be Minister Louis Farrakhan and Tamika Mallory. Now, I haven't done many videos pertaining to this topic right here, except for maybe one, and I think I did that last year. It was late last year. It wasn't way, like, well into last year. But it was basically talking about the same thing I'm going to talk about here, but it's going to have another added bonus to it. So the first time I talked about it was involving Tamika, because her and the other woman, I forget her name, her last name is Sarcer. I forget her first name. She decided that she was not going to denounce Louis Farrakhan, and I think it came from, this picture right here, which is them together. And I'm not sure exactly when it was taken, but it looks kind of like an older picture compared to how Tamika looks now. And they are upset about it because they are still harping on the so-called anti-Semitic comments that were made towards the Jewish community. And they are still mad about that. And I say so-called because, one, it was not anti-Semitic what he said, and two, what he did say was actually factual. Now, I just saw, I'm going to stare off topic right quick. I just saw a video, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do a topic about it or not. I may not, since I'm talking about it right now, where there was this black NYPD cop who was writing up a ticket for some individuals who quote unquote Jewish in New York, and he had them towed. And do you know, like, a gang of like six of them harassed him while he was doing his job, pulled out their phones, called him names and all types of things. Now, it's crazy because they love to claim that they are the biggest victims in the establishment, probably even the world. But when it comes to us, we're supposed to just deal with it. And this guy was just simply doing his job. Those guys were parked, and there was a whole bunch of other stuff that was going on there too. Y'all can let me know, because y'all probably have heard the story already. And I think one of them even tried to hop into the van that was being towed and tried to drive off in it while it was attached to the back of the truck. Like, not completely attached, but I think while it was chained, while it was getting ready to attach it. So it was a lot going on. Like, the video was floating around somewhere, and I just found out about it. But yeah, that was a whole mess, and I think they were trying to get the man fired. I don't know if it actually was successful though. But anyway, back to this. They are, like I said, are so upset with Tamika. Then she recently went on The View. Harvey talked about it. I think Kimberly Frazier talked about it as well, where Meghan McCain and Sonny Hoiston, and I think well, I don't know if Whoopi Goldberg was there, but I know Meghan McCain was that main one who wanted to come at Tamika's neck, and Tamika basically had to shut her down. And see, that's one thing they hate about Tamika. They hate that she does not kowtow to their insults or their bullying tactics or their silly demands. And I gotta tip my hat to her, because she could have easily caved in at any moment, but she didn't, and she will not. And at this point, I think she's at the part of past caring what they think. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because something recent has come out as of January 15th. The Democratic Party, the DNC, is the latest group to pull back their sponsorship for the National Women's March. Now, that march happens in a few days. It happens on Saturday, this Saturday, the 19th, and they pulled out. And to my knowledge, the DNC was one of, if not their biggest sponsor. And I'm looking at comments online, and I'm seeing many people rejoicing this and everything like that. Really, I don't care about the women's march. And to be honest, a lot of those other women down there didn't care either. And one person's tweet that I happened to come across when that was posted up was, of course, Megan McCain. Megan has a lot of room, has a lot of nerve to talk, especially on the behalf of her father, because her father did not even want Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to have his own holiday, which, by the way, is the same weekend as that National's Women's March. Well, his birthday was on the 15th, but they highlighted and celebrated as a federal holiday on the 21st. I never really understood it. I think someone was telling me how that worked, but I forgot what they said. But ironically, it's the same exact weekend. And I bet many of them are going to talk all this crap about this going on right here, and they're going to turn right around and say, "Happy birthday, MLK." I already know what they're going to do. They are so fake, phony, and transparent. But the reason why I say people like Tamika Mallory and Louis Farrakhan have um major significance right now is because her not denouncing him and him saying what he said is causing so much of an uproar that they even got a whole political party to remove themselves as a sponsor. And they think that they're actually doing something. I said, no, it's the fact that she's not caving in. He didn't rescind on his words either. So it's like it's like they came together to form a force, which to them was probably so small, but for those who are against them, it's so big. Many of them know how to blow things way out of proportion. I even saw a comment where someone had said something about that they never seen anything worse than someone displaying anti-Semitism or something like that, and it came from a white woman who most likely could have voted for Trump. And then you had a slew of black people had left the comments, and they was like, slavery. Someone said, I can list thousands of things worse. If you think that that's the worst, you think a comment is the worst. See, and they are also the same ones who always like to put their plight against or above someone else's. Like if a black person was to start talking about slavery right now, in comes here they come talking about, oh well, this happened during the Holocaust. This happened to us. What happened to them is whatever happened to them. But it does not hold a candle to what happened to us. And it's still happening to us. Period. But that's what happens when you have been afforded a life of privilege and luxury after what happened to you. Black people, unfortunately, did not get the same reciprocation. Unfortunately, we had to scrape and provide on our own after we went through our years, decades, centuries of suffering. And even then, everything built up until that point was still destroyed. Mainly by some of the same people that claim that they are the biggest victims of the world, who we're talking about right now. So kudos to Tamika and to the minister. I'm glad that she's not backing down and she's not kowtowing. She's like, I'm not like those other women. This is a whole new ball game. And see, the thing is, they really want to see Tamika, especially because she's the black female in this particular matter, to suffer more, probably more than that Sarsa lady. They want her to fail badly because she's at the forefront and is not one of those white women. Now, I just also did a video a couple weeks ago talking about how that march that they planned on having in California was an epic fail because they said it was too many overwhelming amount of white women, and they got upset at that. By that, I'm talking about white women. That right there was a clear indicator of really how they get down. You mean to tell me that you couldn't have gone and maybe had or invited more other women there? their excuses were ranging from, oh, well, the demographic is this, to, oh, we didn't know if they wanted to come. Like, they pulled out every excuse that they could think of to not have it look more diverse. And I think I cued the violins on that because they had to end up canceling that. And see, that's another thing. They feel that their whole world is caving in on them because uh they're losing the privilege that they were once afforded on full stop. Because it's the fact that they want to control everything with no consequence. And now that they find that there are errors in their ways, they are losing their minds. But that's really all I had to say as it pertains to this. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be in the description. I will talk to you in the next one.